Welcome back to How to Become a Freelancer in 30 Days. This is Anthony Chatfield, and today on day 23, we're going to talk about 5 quick, cheap, easy, smart investments, basically how you can spend a little bit of money early to get started. So the goals for today are going to be to utilize 5 free marketing tactics to drive traffic and find work, creating accounts in some key places, and generating interest in your service. So, tactic number 1, free advertising. We talked about spending money before and how you can drive traffic more immediately. The cool thing is most of these profiles or most of these sites offer free advertising for some amount of money. You can get a $50 ad credit relatively easily from Google AdWords or Bing just to getting started. You basically just have to spend some money and have a credit card on file, and they'll get you some kind of seed money to get going. It's not going to be enough to drive a ton of traffic, and I highly recommend you spend some time targeting and figuring out who's going to match up with your business best. But if you want to drive some traffic early and see what happens, this is a good way to get started. Make sure you find a good cost-effective keyword in the 50 cent to $1 range. That's going to help you drive a decent amount of traffic, maybe 100, 150 clicks, but not so broad or inefficient that the people who land on your website have no interest in what you're selling. It's tricky. There's a lot that goes into Google AdWords and Bing. I mean, this program isn't nearly in-depth enough to cover it in its entirety, but if you're getting started, Google will walk you through the basics, give you some suggestions, and help you kind of put out some ad money there. If you land one good lead out of it, it's totally worth it. If you find that it helps, you can keep paying. If you don't have to keep paying. You can put it on pause as soon as that credit's used up. Tactic number 2, Elance. So when we got started, I told you Elance is free, and it is. You get 30 or 40 credits to get going, and you can use those to bid on projects. But upgrading to a paid Elance account gets you a bit more. Not only do you get more credits, you get a few other options that unlock. You can open up additional categories. So if you want to bid on both design and development, or if you want to bid on marketing and sales along with the writing side, you can do that by paying a little bit extra. It really just lets you ramp up your efforts quite a bit, and it ensures that your profile shows up as one of the premium profiles. You also get some additional statistics and useful information for improving how you interact with other people. It's not required. You can use Elance for free. You always can. There's just a limit to how much you can do. So keep that in mind. If you're really ready to jump up, though, I think it's $20 a month to get started. And that'll help you. I think it doubles the amount of bids you can place. So it really helps you kind of jumpstart things quickly. Promoting your content. You can promote anything you've put out there through StumbleUpon, Reddit, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. They all have advertising programs, but they're also all free. And you can get decent traffic from them relatively easily for free. Or you can pay any of those some amount of money. Or you can pay Outbrain or other content networks that will publish your content to pretty large websites. If you're part of the Outbrain network, you can post to sites like CNN or Lifestyle.com or Lifehack, who will place ads from that network on their websites. You're going to get a lot of impressions, not too many clicks, but you get the benefit of being on those websites, and you can kind of drive traffic from a very broad audience. If you plan on promoting content, make sure it's a piece of content that's very targeted and that you're very sure of the value of. Something broad or general, or just a blog post on a general topic, is not going to perform as well as, say, an ebook or an infographic on a very specific problem people might have. A little bit more on social advertising. LinkedIn advertising is a pretty expensive, relatively speaking, but it's also extremely targeted. And you're not going to get that many clicks, so it's not that big of a deal. You're not going to pay a fortune for it. You're looking at $2 to $4 per click, though. So again, make sure it's super targeted when you post it. Facebook's promoted posts. Basically, you're paying money for people who already like your page to see your content, and then anybody that they're friends with. It's a little frustrating. As a business owner, I've actually pulled almost all investment out of Facebook. And now as somebody who, runs another business, as an employee, same thing. We don't really use Facebook at all, including promoted posts. The return is low and the threshold for entry is too high. That said, it does work really well in some industries, so it can work for you. I'm not saying it doesn't. Just be wary of, the size of your network and how much you can get out of it. Twitter promotion is in the same boat. I've seen some people do really well here, but really paying for Twitter is more effective for growing your audience than for anything else. I wouldn't spend a fortune on this because you're not going to get a bunch of leads out of it. But if you want to build your audience early, this is the way to do it. Overall, though, almost all these social platforms are great ways to promote content, and the cost is pretty low. Like any of these campaigns I talked about, you can do something for $5 or $10 and see results. And then building an email list. We talked earlier about how you can get going on this for free. MailChimp lets you do a pretty basic free account. You can also pay for the number of emails you want to send. If you want to pay for a full service, you're looking at somewhere around $20, $30 a month. If you need traffic for your email list, this is where things can get a little pricier, though. You either need to advertise to get traffic to your website so people sign up, or you can pay for email list promotions, either solo ads, in which case you're writing an email that sends to somebody else's list, or paying for an advertisement in somebody else's newsletter. You're also going to want to generate content that drives traffic to your landing pages, where people will sign up for that list, and then paying for the attention to your new lists. Every time you create a new list, you're going to have to pay or build something that will drive people to it. It's time consuming, it can be costly. It's extremely worth it because these are people now who you can contact anytime you have a special, anytime you have an opening in your schedule, anytime you launch a new ebook, anytime you need a review on Amazon or Google or wherever. This is your target list. So it's worth building up. All right, so for today's action, focus on identifying the type of traffic you want and where you can pay for it. Set a budget for paying for that traffic, and then create the accounts needed and start using whatever paid ad credits you get out of it. Almost all these services will offer you some kind of credit at some point. LinkedIn sends them out a lot. Google sends them out a decent amount of time. So does Bing. Keep your eye out for those. Some of those credits can be pretty substantial, and then they'll help you kind of get rolling. All right, so that's everything for today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And if you haven't yet, please review the program as a whole. Would love your feedback. That's everything for today. I will be back with tomorrow. Talk to you then.